Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be learning about arithmetic series in year 1 of applications and interpretations, known as AI. Arithmetic series. The terms of a sequence can be added together. Adding the terms of a sequence gives us a series. So if you have u sub 1, u sub 2, u sub 3 as your sequence, then u sub 1 plus u sub 2 plus u sub 3 all the way to some u sub n is a series, so you can add them all up. S sub n denotes the sum of the first n terms of a series. So here's our S, that means sum. So if I was going to add up all the terms, that's the sum. The formula. The sum, S sub n, of the first n terms of an arithmetic sequence can be calculated using the formula S sub n equals n divided by 2 times u sub 1 plus u sub n. So let's just label this. First, this is the sum of the first n terms. They will give you us, or we might have to find it. So n, that is the number of terms. U sub 1, we know this, first term. And u sub n, the value of the nth term. And we have to make sure that we have everything on that right side of that equal sign in order to find the sum. So here it says, let's look at an example, because this might be, you might say, Dr. Mears, what's going on here? Let's put it in an example and see if we can figure it out. Number 1, calculate the sum of the first 20 terms of the series 60 plus 57 plus 54 plus going on and on. So here's u sub 1 plus here's u sub 2 plus here's u sub 3 plus u sub 4 plus all the way to u sub 20. They want us to add up from u sub 1 all the way to u sub 20. Now, you could do this a couple different ways. You could find all 20 terms, everybody. Yep, you could find all 20 if you want. What would we have to do? Well, we have to find that common difference. What's happening? This is decreasing. All right, well, 57 minus 60, remember, in order to find that common difference, you can always use my u sub 2, 57, minus u sub 1, which is 60, and that gives us a common difference of negative 3. So we're subtracting 3. So we can go down u sub 4, subtract 3 would be 51. And then we could subtract 3 and keep going all the way till we got to 20. Then what are we going to have to do? Yep, we'd have to add them. But that's a lot of mistakes. That's a lot of mistakes. So let's use this formula. Let's use S sub n equals n over 2 u sub 1 plus u sub n. Let's see what information we can substitute into here. Okay. Do we have n? Do we know how many terms? Yes, right here, 20. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this, and I'm actually just going to fill it in. 20. Perfect. We're substituting numbers in. Okay. Do we have our first number? U sub 1 right here. Yep. All right. Let's erase this, and let's put 60. Okay. This one right here. This is going to be u sub 20. We need this number. Do we have u sub 20? No. So in order to use this formula to find the sum of the first 20 terms, we need to first find the 20th term. We need to find this guy right here. And please notice, anywhere I had an n, I put a 20. N, I put a 20. N, I put a 20. U sub n, I put a 20. But I need this number. So that's our first step. Find u sub 20. All right, how am I going to do that? Well, hopefully you watched my video on arithmetic sequences to be able to find an nth term. We're going to need our trusty formula. U sub n equals u sub 1 plus n minus 1 times our common difference. So what are we looking for? We're looking for u sub 20, correct? That's what we need. We don't know what this is. All right, we know that u sub 1 is 60 plus, what's n? 20. Hopefully you're catching on with the n's and substituting 20 in. Minus 1, common difference is negative 3. So you don't have to go and do all this out. You can use your calculator and you nice parentheses and everything. So let's clear this. So we have 60 plus parentheses 20 minus 1. Whoops, forgot the 1. End parentheses, parentheses again, negative 3. This will do your multiplication for you. We press enter. That's going to be our 20th term. 20th term is 3. Yay! Okay. So, what does that mean? I have this right here. This is 3. Perfect. So, number 2, now I can find the sum. Find sum using formula. So I know S sub 20, I'm just going to rewrite this so it's nice and neat for you. So n over 2, 20 over 2, my first term and the 20th term. I can do this in my calculator. If you want to do this, I know that 20 divided by 2 is 10. I know everybody. But if it wasn't easily divisible, you could just in your calculator put it as a fraction like I taught you. And then 60 plus 3, and I know that that's 63. But if you just wanted to put it in, just like you see it, so you don't have to worry about doing any math, you can. And that's what it's going to be, the sum. So if I added all of these numbers, even the ones in between, all the way to the number 3, if I added them all up, I'm going to get 630. Let's write that. The sum of the first 20 terms is 630. Remember, I like to write that because it tells whoever's reading my paper or grading my paper that I know that I need to actually answer the question and I know what the question's asking. All right, number 2, A. Find the sum, adding them all up, of the arithmetic series. Negative 10, negative 6, negative 10, minus 6, minus 2, plus, plus, plus. Oh, yay, they gave me the ending term. They gave me u sub n. Remember, we didn't have that before. There's the bell. The bell always rings. We didn't have that before, but they gave it to us. Woo, woo. Okay, we even have u sub 1. Yes, awesome. Okay, so find the sum of the arithmetic series. So let's go and get our formula. S sub n equals n over 2, u sub 1 plus u sub n. Now for my classes, you're going to get these formulas. They are on the IB formula sheet. You will always be able to use them. So they will be there. All right. So let's substitute some things in. First, n. What is n? How many? Do you know how many terms we have? We go negative 10, minus 6, minus 2, plus. There's a bunch of terms in here. We have our stopping point. But what number is this? We don't have that n. So it would look like this. N over 2. We have the first number, negative 10. We have the last number, 90. But we don't know how many terms. So that's going to be our first step. Our first step is to find out how many terms are in here. So we need to find n. How do we do that? If you watch my arithmetic sequence, then we know we're going to use u sub n equals u sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d to find n. All right, so what do we have? We have u sub n. We got 90. Okay, equals. What's the first one? Negative 10 plus. Do we have our n? Nope. That's what we need to find. Common difference? Yup. Actually, what is our common difference? I started writing it down. I have no idea. What is our common difference? So let's find that. So what do we have to do to get from negative 10 to negative 6? So here's u sub 2. So if we do u sub 2 minus u sub 1, we're going to get our common difference. So negative 6 minus a negative 10 equals 4. You can do that out in your calculator if you want. Or if you saw that you were going to add 4 every time, that's fine as well. All right, so we have a common difference of 4. So in my other video, my arithmetic video, I show you a couple different ways of doing this. But in both of those ways, we had to get rid of this, whatever's being added here. So since it's subtraction, we have to do the inverse. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. So we get 100 equals n minus 1 times 4. So here's the spot where you can either distribute, multiply, or what I'm going to do is take the shortcut. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And I'm just going to go all the way up here. 100 divided by 4 is going to be, what do we get when we divide 100 by 4? Oh, wait, did I do this right? Yes. Okay. Actually. All right. We're going to take 100 divided by, oh, I know this. Sorry. 25. 4 quarters and a dollar. I did it the distributive property way on my other notes. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, how do we get 104? Okay. So am I doing this right? So we have 25 equals n minus 1. And then we're going to add 1. So we're going to come out with 26 equals n. But we're not done yet. That's just how many terms. So we know this right here, this 90, that is number 26. That's this. So now over here, what are we going to fill in? There's that bell again. Right, we're going to fill this n and this n. So that's number 2, s sub 26 equals, n is, you got it, 26 divided by 2, negative 10 plus 90. So S sub 26 equals, again, if you just want to do this in your calculator, I know that's 13, everybody. But I do want to show you that you can simply, if you just put if you utilize your parentheses correctly, you can just do it all in one step. And this was a negative 10. Please be careful. The negative is right here, everybody. The negative's right there. So we have 26 divided by 2 in parentheses, and the negative 10 plus 90 in parentheses, and we're going to come out with, there's the lights again, 1040. And so what does that mean? Find the sum. And so the sum is 1040. So if we added up all of these numbers from negative 10 to 90, there's 26 of them because that's where we land. If we added them all up, it'd be 1040. Okay. Last one here. Find the smallest n for which s sub n is greater than 100. So I'm going to write down, first I'm going to write down some terms. I'm going to write down the problem that we just had. So they're still talking about these numbers here. So I'm going to write those numbers down so that we have them. So it's negative 10 minus 6 minus 2 plus a bunch of numbers plus 90. We knew this was our first one. We now know this is our 26th. Okay. So what are they asking us to do? This right here is a greater than. If it looked like this, it would be less than. We need to know our inequalities, okay? Greater than, less than. So we want to know when for the smallest value of n. So we're not going to here anymore because we know if we added all these numbers up, remember we got the sum of the 26 numbers was 1040. We don't want that. We just want the sum to be 100. We don't know where we're going to stop. That's what we have to find out. How many terms? Which one in here am I going to stop at where we're going to have a sum of greater than 100. I'm going to do this only one way because there are multiple ways, which I will be showing you later on, but we're going to guess and check, everybody. We are, because I want you to understand what a series is. So here's the thing, 3 terms. What do I mean? Bear with me on this. We have negative 10 minus 6 minus 2. Are those the first 3 terms? Yes, okay. Let's just add them up. Let's see what they add up to, because that's all we're doing. We're just adding them up. So we have negative 10 minus 6 minus 2. We get to negative 18. We have to have greater than 100. Okay, we're at negative 18. Okay, so let's try 6 terms. Now, what was my common difference here? You're right, it was 4, right? I kept adding 4 plus 4 plus 4. All right, so let's keep adding 4 and we get 6 terms. Oops, no, there we go. Negative 6 minus 2. Now plus 4 is going to give us a positive 2. Plus 4 gives us a positive 6. All I'm doing is I'm adding 4, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more plus 4, and I'm going to get to 10. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 terms, and all I did was I just kept adding 4. All right, let's add those up. 6 terms, adding them up in my calculator, guess what I get? 0. We want greater than 100. Are we there yet? Nope. Okay. Let's try 10 terms. Okay, here we go. Again, we're just going to add 4. So negative 10 minus 6 minus 2 plus 6 plus 10 is 14 plus 18 plus 22 plus 26. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's add them up. Really, you would just like you see it. Just remember, that's a negative in the beginning. You add them up, guess what we get to? 80. Are we here yet? Nope. Okay, we're close. We just have to add another one on. Let's see what happens if we do. Let's see if we do. So 11 terms. It's going to be all of this, right? Negative 10 minus 6 minus 2 plus 2 plus 10 plus 14 plus 18 plus 22 plus 26. So this was 80. Now we have to just add on 30. So we're really doing just 80 plus 30, right? Because this whole thing was 80. I mean, we could take a shortcut. All right, so 80 plus 30, that's 110. Hey, look, is that greater than 100? Yes, check. Okay, we got greater than 100. What the heck did the question want again? Okay, find the smallest n. All right, the smallest n. So these are our n's. We did 3, we did 6, we did 10, we came to 80, we did 11. Remember, this is n. So smallest n is 11. That's it. Oops, I'm sorry. Smallest n is 11. Because if we added if n is 10, we get a sum of 80. That's S of 10. And if n is 11, we would get a sum of those 11 terms as 110. If we did an n of 6, the sum of 6 would give us 0. I hope you're catching on. So on and so forth. Now, you could do this a couple different ways. 1, there is an equation, and 2, there is the graphing calculator with tables and looking at the graph. We haven't gotten there yet. I did want to do it the guess and check way so that you understood what a whole series is and how we're adding them up. So this has been Arithmetic Series. Hope it helped.